Insidious was directed by James Wan, who is my favorite horror director. He is my all-time favorite, and I'll get into that in a minute. This film is about the Lambert family as they have just moved into a new home, and as they move into this new home, their son Dalton Lambert suddenly has a strange coma, and he's in a coma. But after he's in this coma, strange events begin to happen in the house. Strange apparitions seem to be in the house, and one known as the lipstick face demon, who was one intention of mine that he wants Dalton for. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really find jump scares scary, and I think modern day horror is pretty atrocious. I like stuff like Hereditary, Midsummer, um, this, and The Witch. These are the type of horror films I prefer. Now, I do want to say this right now. I am not a jump scares suck and they should not be in horror movies. I don't really think that. I mean, there's many great classic horror films that have them in there. There's lots of them. But to me, I just don't really find them that interesting. Because really, all it is this. I could take that and I can amplify it, make it really spooky. Like, all a jump scare is a loud bang, okay? And everybody thinks that that's what makes a great horror movie. It doesn't. What creates a great horror film is the characters and how you do them. Because I like to say that if you care about the characters, then it's scary. Because you don't want them to die. You want Dalton to get out of this coma. He's a kid. You don't want him to be in this coma. If it was a different person, you don't want them in that, but you're on the side of these characters. You're on the side that these characters you're trying to simply say, I don't want this kid to be in this coma. And to me, that's the most interesting aspect of this film, and it's really well done. The drama behind Renee and Josh Lambert, and they are well done. They're great characters. Renee has been hearing all this weird stuff in the house, and she's been seeing things. And this film uses the jump scares in the way I prefer it. To me, the way you should do a jump scare is now a lot of horror films decide to do the whole and the anticipation builds, and then BAM! What's up, guys? Oh, it scared me. That. Where some character comes out, and it's like, oh, hey, sorry, didn't mean to scare you. That's... I'm sorry if I made it offensive. I'm sorry if I did that, sorry. I personally don't like those, and here's why. To me, it takes away from what you're kind of going for. Because I feel like as a director in horror, you need to build an atmosphere. And James Wan is really great at that. Wan is great at creating an atmosphere for the scene, and he gets his actors and actresses into this atmosphere, so then they're like, oh, okay. And then he has an idea for what he wants the camera to do, and wants the atmosphere there. It's well done. This one does the things really good. And this one was very creepy to me. It's creepy. The lipstick face demon is probably my favorite because it's just how creepy he is. Like that one scene where he's all like, he points to Dalton and Benham. Like they open the door and then he's there. This soundtrack is so good. It's great. Joseph Bashar is so great at creating a amazing soundtrack, even if it's for a horror film that's not great. The Curse of La Llorona. And personally, this is one of my favorite horror films. It's a well done film. It's great. Sure, this film isn't a Babadook. That's true. It's not the Babadook where, you hear that chilling voice from the Babadook. Sends chills down my spine when I think about it. But this is a well done movie. It uses the jump scares right, and this is how I want jump scares to be. The way they do the jump scares, this is how I think it should be done. It shouldn't be done like most horror films where they just do it for sake of it, and that leads me to my honest opinion about jump scares. To me, a lot of horror films nowadays use the jump scare as a gimmick. That's all it is. The jump scare doesn't add anything to the movie. It's just a stupid gimmick that these studios use. Be like, hey, we got jump scares. You wanna come see a movie? Huh? You wanna go see this movie? Spoopy things come up from the darkness. Like, it's that. That's what the audience. That's what these studios think people like. Because these films come out every year, people go and see them. Right now we're in a a technological horror age where every horror film revolves around some form of technology. Like what's that one film called? That's how unforgettable it is. The one where they're in college. It's about a girl who has a big social media status. She becomes friends with this one girl, but she finds that she puts weird stuff on her Facebook, and she double crosses her, and then she kills herself. But really, it was really just a curse. And then she starts haunting her for some reason, and then I guess I'm supposed to care. Whatever that one was called. It's not called. It's not Unfriended. What's it called? Was it Friend Request? I don't know. It was, again, it shows how unforgettable it is. Wait, did I say unforgettable? Forgettable. It shows how forgettable it is. But again, this is one of those horror films that I think you really should see. Now, the first film I ever saw James Wan do was The Conjuring. This is the one film that actually genuinely scared me. And I know some of you are probably thinking, oh, that one's so bad. I'm probably saying that right now. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, come on. But for me, it was genuinely scary because I had never really been scared by a horror film. To me, a jump scare is this. That's all it is. It's a jolt. Nothing creepy on screen. But this one goes out of its way to actually get under your skin. When Josh, spoilers, goes into the further, and in this place he sees like these ghost beings that are like doll-like, and they're just weird, like the whistling father, the what is it? The lady worker or something like that, and how she just stares, with the creepy face, and then she blinks, and you have the one where she's like that genuinely gets under my skin. The lipstick face demon is so creepy. When you first see him in the corner of the room, to me, I'm like, oh man. But Juan, to me, understands is that he gets the audience in the anticipation. I feel like in a horror film, you have to make it very suspenseful. It has to be suspenseful. You need to really get the audience into the scare. Because I feel like a lot of horror films, they don't really understand how to do a jump scare. They don't understand that, if you write a good jump scare or a good scare scene, and now you're probably thinking, so all I have to do is just write a good jump scare, right? Is that what I'd say? Well, not really. Not really. What I'm trying to say is just because you write, let's say, a really great jump scare, like genuinely great, like you build anticipation, you build the suspense of the scene. Okay, great. It's great. It's good. But the big part is the direction. Let's say you wrote a screenplay for a horror film. You had a big scare scene. It was great. It was amazing. It was fantastic. It was amazing. But then, what happened next was, as you would guess, the direction. The direction is what matters the most, in my opinion. If you don't have a good direction, I feel like the scene just falls flat. It's like a stride and a run. It's like if you don't have a good distance, if you don't go that far, if you just do it poorly, and then you just fall flat, But Juan gets the mark every time he does a horror film. He gets there, he understands, he makes creepy things. Dead Silence might be a film that isn't great by today's standards, or it was back then, because they wanted to make a big new Saw-like franchise and stuff like that. But that film has creepy stuff in it. Her name's Mary Shaw. She's creepy in that movie. Like, that to me is like, But, yeah, I could go on about how to do modern horror. This film, I think, is scary. This is how I want modern horror films to be. I think Juan is one of those filmmakers that you really need to study. Him and David S. Sandberg of Shazam, Annabelle Creation, and Lights Out truly understood how to do a jump scare. How he builds the anticipation, the suspense, the audience is waiting and waiting. That's what I want. I want a suspenseful scene that leads to a jump scare. You could do it too. Believe me, you could do it too if you just try hard enough. I'm gonna give Insidious an A plus just because of how great it is. Anyways, this is probably the beginning to a series of Halloween reviews. I'm hoping. I told myself I was gonna do it last year, and I didn't. I did that like one review, and I don't want to say, oh, I'm gonna do a bunch of Halloween reviews, and then I put like one out, maybe two, and that's it. I just lose interest. I don't want to do that for you guys. So again, I just want to say, subscribe if you're new, and if you hit that subscribe button, you get to see more from me, perhaps more reviews that become more critical. I do want to say that if you don't like these really long reviews, I don't think this is as long, I don't think. But if you don't like long reviews, well, then don't watch the video because these are going to be long reviews. I want to make longer ones, but that's just me though. Because I am able to watch a review of a movie that's an hour long or so. Anyways, you guys know who I am since I don't want to say it anymore. And, yeah. See you guys hopefully next time.